there's a variety of different searches that you can run, and as an employer, I think it really makes sense to consult with an expert who understands the business, the positions you hire for, the risk tolerances, and kind of the insurance and compliance requirements. At a basic level, I think that the first kind of bullet here really talks about the basics of a background check. The SSN Trace is really a tool used to develop identity and address history. Your National Criminal Database and Sex Offender Registry is kind of a base level database search that's your county level records for criminal, federal criminal for white collar, crimes involving criminal offenses for, things that cross state lines, embezzlement, fraud, theft, wire schemes, IP theft, other kind of trade secret things where there's federal things. And we talked about driving records as a core piece. I think that the two really important things to look at are employment verification and education. Those are two areas we find the most amount of falsification or exaggeration of information. Again, if they have a professional license that's necessary for the job, verifying that it's accurate and current, especially in the healthcare space. And if there's any credentials or any other references that are required. I think that under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we talk about credit reports. Credit reports, for especially for California employers, we'll talk about a little bit. One thing I want to point out on credit reports that in California and across the country anyway, for employment purposes, a credit report cannot contain a score, a FICO score, a score that most people use to assess credit worthiness. And also the government has removed public records. So bankruptcies, judgments, and liens have been removed from credit reports. So if you do have a probable reason or a criteria with the position to run a credit report, you better be prepared to analyze it and review it. It creates a lot of questions. And if you're not, then run a bankruptcy judgment lien search outside of the scope of the credit report. And it'll probably give you more actionable information unless the credit report is required, like you're working for a credit union or a bank or financial institution that's required.